Good afternoon, and thank you for coming out on this beautiful day. We're here today to highlight some of the significant contributions the Bermuda Department of Corrections has made to the local community. By carrying out various community projects in schools, including the Opportunity Workshop where we are today, charitable organizations, and other government departments, the Prison Farms facilities Giving Back to the Community program has provided numerous public and private organizations additional manpower they need to complete labor projects. In 2012, the program oversaw a total of 19 projects being completed. 19 projects being completed by prison farm inmates. Projects such as the cleanup of the Fort St. Catherine Beach, cup match ground preparation and cleanup up at Somerset Cricket Club, the holders of the trophy, painting and refurbishment at the Bermuda College, and maintenance work at Lorraine Rest Home. Here at the Opportunity Workshop, a crew of inmates from the farm facility have provided assistance with landscaping, cleanup, and general maintenance. A letter of thanks from Ms. Balboda, who joins us here today, speaks to the merits of this program. Ms. Balboda writes that while the men were on site to complete a variety of landscaping and maintenance tasks, she never heard them grumble nor complain. Ms. Balboda goes on to say that their great attitudes, they graciously did what was asked of them. When the staff, during a cleanup day, asked the crew to do some extra work, they chipped in without a complaint. Truly, many hands make light work. As the cleanup was supposed to last all morning, it was completed in just a few short hours. And let me be clear of the importance of these projects to the community. Through the work of these inmates, these projects help our community organizations to redistribute the funds allocated for maintenance to other very important initiatives. In addition, this work allows the men who participate the opportunity to develop their skills that will aid them in their reintegration back into the community. In observing some of the good work completed here and in other locations, I see the results that demonstrated good work skills in landscaping, painting, and maintenance. I also note good work ethic. Statistics show that persons released from prison who have skills that make them employable and can maintain employment are less likely to reoffend. The Bermuda Department of Corrections is to be congratulated for developing the farm facility Giving Back to the Community program and in upholding their mission to empower inmates to be responsible and productive citizens. This program shows one way that corrections officers are helping to return inmates to the community as productive citizens who understand the importance of an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. My commitment, and that of the Commissioner and his colleagues, is to continue to build on the success of this program with greater participation by inmates and more community work. I will now turn it over to the Commissioner to say some comments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. The Department of Corrections very quietly goes about its daily business, making a significant contribution to the rest of the community. And in fact, on an annual basis, we estimate that we save this country hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in the programs that we provide to the wider community through our community projects, our charitable organizations and projects. And it's a vast statement to the type of commitment that we have in the Department of Corrections to giving back to the community. And we do so without a whole lot of fanfare. Joe Public is always calling for inmates to give back to the community, and the programs at the farms, and in fact even some at Westgate, involve dozens of inmates going out on a daily basis giving something back to this community. And today I stand here very proud to be able to say that we acknowledge the contributions made by Mr. Gomes and his team at the prison farm and some of the officers who stand behind me, as well as those inmates who stand behind me. This is a testament to our commitment to the rest of this community. And as I said earlier, we save this country hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in programs throughout this community. And as you look behind us, and Ms. Balboda has already attested to, we are in the business of helping inmates become better citizens, and in so doing, give back to the community, such that when they do return to society, they will be better citizens of our country. Mr. Gomes, I invite you to say a few words if you so wish.
Good afternoon. I'd like to say the minister said it well, that the inmates are going out there and doing a lot of community work. What we want to know is that our staff also play a big part in assisting with the inmates going out to work. Sometimes they pitch in and help out doing the work. I'd like to thank them personally for the work that they have done. I'd like to thank the inmates personally for the work that they've done. Some of the inmates have never done this sort of work before in terms of doing community work. So when they come back, they're very excited about it and they're excited to go out to do the work. So I'd like to thank them all for the work that they have done. I'd like to thank the commissioner who had the foresight to say to us to get most of the inmates down at the farm working. We have achieved or accomplished that goal and will continue on going and doing community work. I'd like to thank the minister for acknowledging the work that is being done in the community by the inmates and the officers, and we appreciate all that is said to us today. All right, thank you.
Well done.
Any questions?
Obviously the benefits of
What's your name, young man? Okay, thanks.
the benefits of the project are there for everybody to see while they're inmates. What about afterwards, when you have ex-cons that are looking for work and really do need projects like this? Maybe will the government be willing to pay them? Will they be included in similar projects once they are released?
Good question. The release of inmates and the work, being able to live and work in the community is very important, and we continue to work with the commissioner to try to find better avenues to do that. This government is also looking at options where we can get more people employed, and I think over the coming weeks you'll hear much more in detail about programs that are actually work. I wouldn't want to trump my cabinet colleagues in talking about it today. Yes, ma'am.
The two inmates? Yeah. Selassie was Garnett. Step forward, Selassie. No?
No?
No, okay.
No?
Fair enough.
No? Okay, good.
How are the people chosen for projects like this?
There's an internal process within corrections. By the time an inmate reaches the farm, and there's a selection process, and it's a graduation process whereby an individual is assessed for security risks. They remain at the farm for a few weeks, and once they pass the criteria for selection, they initially go out for charity work, which are escorted by officers. Then they graduate to community service, and then eventually to work release, where they go out unescorted. So there is a screening and selection process before inmates are let out on release.
Clarification, the farm?
Pardon?
The farm? What do you mean by the farm?
The prison farm, which is the fair reach.
East End. And one of the you touched on something I think is important to mention. I was talking to Commissioner's colleagues just before we got started. The prison farm has a great deal of arable land, and that's farmed continuously. I had the opportunity, along with the permanent secretary, to go down there and visit a couple of weeks ago, and I was impressed by the crops that are coming out of the field and the care that they're given by the inmates down there. It's important that today we stand here and we start to explain more of what's happening behind the scenes that people don't understand. They think prison is a picnic.
Right.
Well, clearly, that's not the case. Nobody wants to be incarcerated, and the commissioner's colleagues will uphold the law, but at the same time, they will give them opportunities to be in a better position when they get out of their term of incarceration. And I'm excited about some of the opportunities that these gentlemen are making happen, ladies and gentlemen, making happen. And just thank you again for Ms. Valboda for what you do here, and look forward to many other successful programs.